Okay, you see the title is Marriage for White People. See, they're starting it off already on a negative light when most black people, you know, talking like a white person, dressing like a white person, acting like a white person, living around white people. There's nothing, even though I'm not saying this, but there's nothing respectable about doing anything like white people in most black people's eyes. So, they kind of turn it off right there. But you know, one thing we should stop doing, if we did more things that were like white people, we'd be more productive as a race. You can believe that.
Is marriage for white people? That's the question being asked by an author of a new book. Is marriage for white people how the African American marriage decline affects everyone? It's got a lot of people talking right now. Stanford law professor Ralph Richard Banks says it's time for black women to, this is a quote, give up the good fight on marrying a black man. Here he is.
The way I think of that is that women have been asked to carry a great load. Black women shoulder a lot of the burden, in short, of black men's struggles. And I am asking women to put the burden down. Many women think that they're attracted to black men. They are attracted to black men. But attraction itself is complicated. And one of the things that I discovered in the course of writing this book is that there's a whole host of fears and desires and anxieties that animate black women's attraction to black men.
Okay, Banks recently wrote an article in the Wall Street Journal and said that 70% of black women aren't married. That's roughly true. Okay, so is it time for single, educated, and working black women to just forget the notion of marrying a black man and look outside their race? A new Gallup poll shows more and more people are receptive to the idea of interracial marriage. In 1968, the numbers were quite low for whites approving of interracial marriage. This is a Gallup poll from USA Today, but today those numbers skyrocketed for both blacks and whites. So does the author have a point? Is the black marriage nearly obsolete? Is the idea just for white people?
Okay, you can clearly see the powers that be, the elitist white supremacists. They're the ones who paid that man to write this book, gave him the idea to write this book, gave him the factual information to write this book. And it's a smear campaign against black men. It's not about promoting the institution of marriage. It's about saying, these niggas ain't no good. Y'all don't need to be fucking with them. But like he said, black women are naturally attracted to us. So, that's a big thing. There's nothing overrides attraction. It's not race. There's no reason why two people ain't together except for attraction. It's not race. It's not color. It's not religion. It's not age. It's attraction. So if you're asking these black women to fight against what their natural urges are is to be attracted to us, they're only going to end up with them white dudes because they settling for them. They ain't going to be happy. But let a true alpha nigga show up. I've seen it. I took jujitsu about 20 years ago. And I remember I was in Philly and I went to another school to train up there. So I get there, there's this biracial girl with this white dude. Oh no, she perked up right when she saw me, talking with me, flirting with me, joking with me, right in front of him. It was almost to the point where, like, damn, if I was a sinister dude, I'd be like, yo, why don't you give me your number right in front of that dude? If I was a slime ball type cat, I never went to the school but that one time. I just went to see it. I didn't join that school. But had I been a slime ball type nigga, I could have gave my number to that girl at least, man. It was blatant. She was giving me what Coach Greg Adams says is choosing signals. Blatant. And then when we grappled, I let up on dude because I didn't want to dominate him like that in front of his woman, even though I should have. But nah, I wasn't going to do that because I wasn't about to steal him from her, But I should have done that shit. I wasn't even on this MGTOW shit back. We talking what? 2000, 2002, something like that. But yeah, anyway. And, black people, black women, I should say, they have an actual disease for it. For women who are attracted to men who are criminals. The disease is called hybristophilia. It's an actual, just look it up and you'll see what it means.
Have a black couple here who says, hello, I'm right here. Joining us more to talk about this is Lamar and Ronnie Tyler, bloggers for Black and Married with Kids. All right, Tyler, so I guess my first question is, what is your reaction to what you have just heard? A lot of people have been talking about this.
I just think the book is dangerous, and it's sending a dangerous message.
Dangerous?
Yes.
Okay.
I definitely think it is just perpetuating all of the negative stereotypes that are out there. And now is the time for black people to come together and to work together, not to look outside of our community for the answers.
Dangerous how so? And I want you to answer this because he seems to be putting a lot of negativity out there on black men.
See, I'm not so sure we should have desegregated. I think we should have stayed segregated, because if you look at the poll in 1968, 78% of white people approved of interracial marriage, where 56% of us did. Those are pretty polar numbers. But see, why I say we shouldn't have segregated is, if they didn't want it, we shouldn't have pushed for it. Because you know what we have now? We literally have a lot of white liberals who are actually fucking racist, who pretend to like us in our faces and plan our demise behind their backs. Really? So, okay, if that's the case, then, you know, we've been dealing with people that have been pretending to like us for a long time. And also, you know, I'm a firm believer in, if you don't want to fuck with me, I don't want to fuck with you. See, now people are smiling at us being racist. Before, they would call you nigga to your face or just not fuck with you like that. That's fine. But, you know, now, as far as the, you know, they want to outbreed us, black man. You know that shit. They don't want no traditional dark-skinned black motherfuckers out here now. So that's why they're approving of interracial relationships now. They're damn near equal on that shit. That's crazy. So they went from 17% to 83%. Less than 2 in 10 to more than 8 in 10. Come on, man. You see what it is. They want to create a whole race of biracial people so that they can act as buffers between traditional dark-skinned black people and traditional Caucasian people. That's what the ideal is. It ain't got nothing to do with love or no other shit like that, because we know what happens when these bitches get bedwenched. They come running back to the black community, and then simps take them. Leave them bitches where they at. Oh, and I'm sick of these educated black women. They're the ones that are supposed to go for these white guys. When I'm so sick of black women and their fucking educations, man. If they're so educated, why can't they pick more suitable mates for their children? Why can't they take accountability for stuff? You know what I'm saying? You can be educated all you want to be, but until you learn how to take accountability, all that education don't mean shit, man. It just means you in a lot of debt. Fellas, when you hear that, I'm an educated woman. I'm a bitch that got a lot of debt that I'm going to want to help you. I want you to help me get out of. But I ain't going to love you like that, though.
Well, you know, I think what he's done is created a perfect mechanism to sell books, but not so much to help African-American women.
All right.
And I think, you know, he's portraying this like this is some type of help tool for them, but not at all. I think anytime when you say that one entire group of people, specifically based on race, is bad and another group is good, then it doesn't make any sense at all. It's not helping anybody. Instead, the conversation should be, if there are problems in the African-American community, how can we uplift the community? What can we do to show them that marriage is positive, to show them that parenting is positive and where it's at? Instead of, you know, making notions like these that basically just get you on TV, in the media all the time and allow you to sell books.
Well, because some of the numbers that he put out there are true. A white woman is twice as likely to get married as a black woman.
He sure is. He ain't doing nothing but putting a lot of negative commentary on black men. That's all we ever get. When do we ever get good press? Unless it's about our athletic prowess or our sexual prowess. They don't say nothing good about us. And then you got a brother saying that we're no good. I like the fact that the woman stuck up. Man, see, that's the thing. I love it when black women stick up for black men. Don't happen enough. My mom will do it, but the average bitch on the street, no. Or average black woman on the street. That's how I should say it. But it's just y'all earn that title, man. Y'all really do. I don't just come out my mouth with that. Y'all earn that shit, man. Y'all really do. And it's a shame that y'all... It's a real shame that the black women that aren't like these and want to be positive towards us and don't want to swirl and just want to make a strong black family, y'all don't speak up against the ratchet women, but that ain't what this video is about. This woman here is clearly on our side, so we need to stick with her. Yeah, that was an interesting point, that he wanted to sell books. And also how he said you can't say a whole race of people. Like, you can't separate people. Like, for the most part, I'm not saying white women are better. Female nature is universal. So you're going to run into the same problems with a black woman. You deal with a non-black woman, you're going to have a total separate set of problems. You're not going to have kids and drama and all that. You might not have debt, but you still might have, or you're still going to have hypergamy. The fact that she'll never be satisfied. The fact that, hey, let's go back to it, they really have nothing to offer you but sex. Let's not forget that, fellas. Let's not forget that. So marriage shouldn't be for anybody with a brain and some assets that they don't want to lose.
Some of what he is saying is true, is what you take exception to, what you say are solutions that aren't actually solutions. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Solutions that are not actually solutions. So if it's true, let's get down to why it's true and bring forth real solutions for the black community.
2 reasons why Caucasian females get married, and 2 reasons why they get married. Because if they're going to choose, we're talking about interracially, if they're going to choose to marry a black man, it's going to be an upstanding black man that wears his pants that fit, that pays his taxes, that goes to work every day, that hasn't been in trouble with the law, doesn't have any bastard children. She's going to pick a dude that the average black woman would look at as an educated lame. So that's why they get married first, because of the type of niggas they choose. That's number 1. Number 2 would be a Caucasian female will see that you've got a potential. I've said this before. They wait for you to realize that potential. They stick with you till you start to blossom, crank out a kid, and then be on some other shit. I'm going to divorce you now. This is what they're going to do, for the most part, because female nature is universal. Don't forget that, boys. Do not forget that. The real solution is going your own way, fellas. It just is. It just is. It's not go over the fence and get a non-black woman. It's not. Now, for the educated lames out there, it might be easier if you're going to do some pump and dump, short term. But, pump and dump really ain't all that safe either, man. These chicks are conniving, man. They're just conniving. But going our own way, it's the only way.